This is a guide on how to win the third Celestial Battlegrounds of Season 1, where there are 4 marches now instead of 3. I am in first place, but I wanted to go for a higher score. The first legion I'm using is Cavalry. I'm using Emery's and Bakshi. I switch out Centaur Bow here for Giant's Bone, as Giant's Bone does a lot of AoE damage. The second legion I'm using is Marksman with Nico and Kanara, and I'm using the Bomb Flinger. The third legion I'm using is Lilia and Velen, and I'm using Karada's Wrath, as Karada's Wrath gives them a circle of legion attack, which can apply to your other legions. And then the fourth legion I'm using is the Wyvern Riders. I'm using Craig and Thea. I switch Heartpiercer here for the Book of Advanced Incantations. All the artifacts I'm using have no rage cost, so they get deployed as soon as the round starts. You always want to go for effects that give the enemy more attack damage, and you want to avoid effects that give the enemy defense. I bring my legions closer to each other at the end, so they have a higher chance for the next round for the Karada's Wrath to apply to all my legions. Here I grab Catalyst, as Catalyst grants the enemies 2 extra normal attack hits, which does not do a whole lot of damage.
I'll burn you up. It's too windy for a safe shot here.
Here I grab Hunter Killer. Hunter Killer gives the enemy 250% attack after they cast a skill, but most of the time the match won't last long enough for the enemy to even launch their skills.
The sooner we're home.
Here I grab Bare-Knuckle. This is the one you really need to place first in this tournament. The earliest you can get it is round 4. It gives you your troops a ton of damage, but then it also reduces their defense by a significant amount. Here I grab Awe. Awe makes it so you cannot cast rage skills while the circled enemy is still on the screen, but for the most part you won't have enough time to even cast your rage skill, so grabbing Awe does not matter too much.
It is an honor. Fine. I hope you thought this through.
These 3 are all pretty bad, but I decided to go with Darkshade here, as it only gives a 3000 shield every 5 seconds. The rounds usually last about 10 seconds to 13 seconds, so it would only be applied twice.
Face the flame.
Foolproof, but foolish.
The sooner it's done, the sooner we're home.
Here I grab Necrophage. This grants a lot of attack when you kill an opponent, but I think this does less damage than Self-Destruct, as Self-Destruct I've seen really wipes out my cavalry pretty quickly.
Fools. Fine. I hope you thought this through.
Here I grab Nightmare Trap. Nightmare Trap is always pretty good to get, as it doesn't really do much because it only does damage to you after 10 seconds, but that timer resets every single time you kill an opponent. These are all pretty bad. Unleash will instantly kill your army, so never get Unleashed. I decided to go with Rearguard here, as Rearguard would give them a 5000 shield, while Darkshade 2 would have given them a 6000 shield.
It is an honor to be consumed by my flames. This is boring. Can I go play with fire instead?
Here I grab War Weary. War Weary decreases your defense quite a bit, but it only lasts for 1 round and it does not go on to the rounds after it, so it's always a good effect to grab. So this did improve my time to 35,320, but I was not happy with how unlucky I got with some of the effects towards the end, so I decided to play some more. And 10 minutes later I got this run. Here, grab Intensity. It makes it so the skill attacks of the enemies does more damage, but like I said before, they don't get the chance to use their skill attacks most of the time because the rounds end too fast.
Crap, I hate bugs. What fresh hell is this?
Here I should have grabbed Nightmare Trap, but instead I grabbed Catalyst. Catalyst gives your enemy 2 extra hits per normal attack, but I should have grabbed Nightmare Trap.
Please.
Here I grab Second Wind. Second Wind, the enemy does more damage after 10 seconds, but like I said, the rounds only last like 13 to 14 seconds, so they don't have much time to use that extra attack damage.
Understood. Coordinates received.
Here I grab Bare-Knuckle. I got it again on stage 4. I bet I would skip. If I didn't see Bare-Knuckle on stage 4, I would restart and look for it again, as the only way to place first is if you get Bare-Knuckle on stage 4. If you don't have full marches and full T4.
We're home.
Here I grab War Weary again. This only lasts for 1 round, so it's always good to grab.
I've got the right gear for any situation.
Here I grab Necrophage. This one does quite a bit of damage, but it was the only damage one that was on the screen. And the other 2 are not good to get at all.
The sooner it's done, the sooner we're home.
Here I grab Self-Destruct. Self-Destruct does also quite a bit of damage, but it was the best one out of the 3.
It's too windy for a safe shot here.
Here I grab Awe. Awe makes it so you can't cast rage spells, but like I said before, the rounds don't really last long enough for you to cast rage spells anyways.
Crap, I hate bugs. What fresh hell is this?
Here I grab Necrophage 2. So when the opponent dies, the surrounding enemies get 400% attack damage. That's quite a bit, but I didn't really notice it too much here, especially since it's only on stage 9 and 10.
Please.
And then lastly, I grab Nightmare. Oh, yeah, okay. I grab Nightmare Trap, which doesn't really do anything, as it only happens every 10 seconds, and that timer resets when an enemy dies. And this is how I placed first in Celestial Battlegrounds. I was pretty happy with this time. I did not really think I could get it much higher, so I did stop here. I hope this guide helps you place higher in Celestial Battlegrounds. Thank you for watching, and please leave a like.